The Bluecoats. The Bluecoats. So, hey, they had their most successful season ever.
Yes,
I mean,
they did.
they won.
Yep.
It's their first undefeated season, their highest score ever with a 98.75. This is their second championship. They won general effect, visual performance, brass. They were second in color guard, third in percussion. The show was Changes Everything, which, this writer says it. I don't disagree. A new gold standard for the Bluecoats.
It was.
The show, well, we don't know much about this year's show. We do know that it's a mixture of minimalist music by Steve Reich, Alfonso Peduto, I'm assuming, a jazzy, rocky ballad by M83. That's
Okay.
a band that we know. And then more music by Son Lux, including original music written for the core, which is an arrangement they had reached like a couple years ago where
Yeah.
Son Lux, they would use Son Lux and he's come in and Ryan Lott's come in and talked and all that kind of stuff. So, without knowing anything about what they're doing, we have to assume it's another boundary-pushing, exciting show. They have made very little changes, if none, to the design team.
Yeah.
They've put it together. They've created some really, really exciting shows. Changes everything. What'd you think?
Dude. No, yeah. I absolutely loved Changes Everything. It's definitely up there with some of my favorite shows. I just thought, and it may, I don't know, that's one thing about me. I'm very indecisive of what my favorite is, but that also is a really big contender because that really, dude, it's all ironic. It changed my perspective about what marching band can be, which I think is kind of become the new standard of the Bluecoats of we're gonna make them think more about what marching band can be. Something as simple as their foil flag feature, where it was dead silent and they were featuring the flag and the sound of the flag. I would have never thought of that. And that's one of the many things that they added to that show that I really just enjoyed. And I'm so excited to see what they keep doing with this. And yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
I've seen something, but it's not. It's a still image, so I get nothing. I get nothing out of what it's going to be, what it could be. What I will not share. Don't leave comments like, "Hey, where do you get?" Because all last year I go, "I've seen this." Well, where's that video? It's like, do you think that these videos are public? Do you think that I'm not just sent these things? You can send them my way, by the way. I love last year's show. The first time I heard it before it was even made public, I was like, they're going to win. And there was no question in my mind they were going to win because it was so different and so new and so exciting.
Yeah.
And they were so good right out of the gate. I have said, and this is all drum corps history, that, I think the crowd does play a part in willing a group to win.
It does.
I don't think Phantom Regiment wins with Spartacus without the audience.
Right.
Blue Devils had the better show design than Spartacus, but just the trajectory that Phantom Regiment went on those during that finals week.
Oh my gosh.
And having to stand in the tunnel, if you're the Blue Devils, and hearing the crowd just go bananas for Phantom at finals night.
They're standing up and there's a minute left in the show.
And then they have to come out and perform. So I think that was a reason why the Phantom won. I think that was the reason why Crown won with E equals MC squared. I think that maybe the percussion was going to hold them back a lot more than they did. It didn't. They won. They won their championship. I think the crowd tried to will Inferno into winning, but the better show ended up winning that year. And I think last year, just the way that the Bluecoats was doing their show, they didn't need the help.
No,
but the audience was so into it.
The audience were still there.
Yeah, and it was, the Son Lux stuff, which, were you in the band when Leander did Lost It to Trying?
No, that was 2015.
Oh, geez.
Third grade.
I have no concept of time. They did it. I think the person who wrote these notes, his band did Lost It to Trying last year. I wrote Lost It for Trying for a band this year. That's going to do it. I'm sure we will hear hundreds of bands do that song. It's a cool song, but the way that they started and ended that show with the Son Lux stuff and just very smart. So if they're playing more Son Lux with an artist who's been working with the group
and original music,
that's
different.
I think we will see and hear a more successful collaboration than maybe another group did last summer when they worked with a composer. It's Crown and John Mackey. I don't think that collaboration did what they thought it was going to do. They got fifth, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think
I'm curious how it works. Like, maybe he writes the song and then they arrange it.
Well,
I don't think he's arranging it.
Mike Scott comments on like Twitter and Reddit. He's the core director.
Yeah.
And I think what someone said is he just writing the song.
Yeah.
And then the Bluecoats will then do what they do. And I think he said yes. It's similar to that. He's not writing brass parts.
Yeah, because
that kind of
thing.
You
can't just do that.
But I think it's the idea of we want to call the show whatever the show is called. And this is what we'd like, something like this.
Yeah.
And then he writes the piece, and then Doug Thrower takes it and just like goes crazy with it. So
absolutely.
Very excited. I think this has the potential to be another just awe-inspiring show. Whether it wins or not remains to be seen. But I would not count them out for contention. So, all right, who's up next?